Aiden Pearce, the fox. You know him? No? Well, I do. Come, take a seat, and let me tell you a story, because this is the story of Aiden Pearce.
Living off the grid, Aiden dropped all forms of contact with most of his family except Nikki, his sister, Lena, his niece, and Jason, his nephew. Keep that name Lena in mind. We're going to coming back to her later. Anyways, Aiden has been a vigilante for a long time, regularly training in boxing as well as other forms of hand-to-hand combat. He wanted to keep being a vigilante on the down low. However, the first time he was almost caught by his coach. He began being suspicious when Aiden repeatedly showed up to practice with a manner of different injuries, ranging from bumps to bruises to as serious as stitches and broken ribs. Aiden was uneasy on how close the coach was getting to uncovering his secret. So, in a manner of protecting his secret, he killed the coach and focused on intimidation. These details were disclosed by Aiden in an audio log. He wanted to be able to win a fight before it even started.
Somewhere down the line, Aiden met a man named Damian Brinks. Damian taught Aiden how to hack. They became good friends and they started doing jobs together. They did a job known as the Merlot, one of the most expensive hotels with millionaires and billionaires staying there all the time. They thought it would be a clean job. Damian was the brains behind the computer and Aiden was at the Merlot Motel. While they were stealing the money from the rich and famous, an alarm went off. Turns out there was another hacker trying to do the same thing. Aiden thinks it's a bad idea after he finds out there's another hacker in there with him. He flees from the motel. A few months later, Damian goes out of his house and gets jumped. They break many of his bones, almost making him cripple. He is lucky to walk. At the same time, Aiden is spending time with his niece, Lena, going on a car ride. Then, a guy on a bike shoots his tire out, and Aiden loses control of the car, flipping and rolling it, killing Lena. Aiden being mostly fine, the only damage done to him being the mental damage of losing his niece. Aiden goes back to his vigilante ways, but with a new set of hacking skills that he can do all from his phone. He has one goal, and that's to find out who killed Lena at any means necessary. But Aiden can't do it alone. He gets a connection, a friend in DedSec, to help him out. They go by the name of Bad Boy 17. Bad Boy and Aiden track down who fired the shots at Aiden's car, that being a man named Maurice. Aiden trying to find out who made the call to come after him and why they went after him. Points a gun at Maurice's head and pulls the trigger. Click. Nothing happens. The gun was unloaded, only used to scare Maurice to try getting information Aiden wants. After seeing Maurice is not going to say what happened, at least not yet, he decides to take him with him. Aiden goes to leave, then bumps into his friend Jordy Chin, a fixer Aiden hired to help kill the people that killed Lena. Jordy looks after Maurice while Aiden does the dirty work. They all go and leave the stadium. But turns out someone heard a gunshot and called the cops. The cops are now all over the building, leaving Aiden no other choice than to sneak past them, but there are too many cops. Aiden decides to kill the power to the whole stadium, sneaking past all the cops and people in the darkness. He makes a clean getaway and all the panic from the lights going out. Aiden decides he wants to hang out with his sister again, and it's also Jackson's birthday. Aiden does not stay long. Him and Nikki catch up a little bit, then Nikki gets a phone call. Someone threatens her, asking if she feels safe and if the locks on her doors work. Aiden hacks Nikki's phone and listens into the phone call. Aiden runs out of the house and tracks the phone. The call was made from right outside the house. Aiden kills him to make sure what happened to Lena does not happen again. Aiden tells Bad Boy about the call. She tracks the call back to the original person that made the order on Aiden. Aiden tells Bad Boy about the call. She tracks the call back to the original person that made the order. Aiden takes the bait and follows the trail. Aiden follows the trail and sees who made the call. It was Damian Brinks, his old friend. Damien found there was another hacker at the Merlot job that they were pulling 6 months prior. Damien also thinks he found out what they took that made those people come after him. It's a video. It's encrypted. Aiden needs to get the original video for it to work. Aiden backed into corner having no idea what to do. Clara says they can find Raymond Kenny. He would be the only one that knows how to decrypt the video. Aiden likes the idea and gets a lead on Kenny's location. After finding Kenny in a bar, Aiden sits down and has a few drinks with him, asking if he knows where he can find Kenny at. Kenny, after getting Aiden a little drunk, throws him out of a window, and Aiden and Kenny get into a little bit of a fight. Aiden gets Kenny into an arm lock with his baton. Kenny tases Aiden, knocking him out. Sometime later, Aiden wakes up at a place that he's never been to before. It's a junkyard, and none other than Raymond Kenny is sitting in front of him.
A slightly dazed Aiden converses with Kenny. After a short moment, a deal was struck between the two. Kenny has specifically requested Aiden's assistance in getting a peaceful flight to Chicago without any noise from the cops. Among one of the few tasks involves Aiden clearing Kenny's data from CTOS clean. Aiden agrees, and while in Bloom HQ, after completing the task provided, he proceeds to start wiping Kenny's data from the system. In that moment, he overhears a name being announced over the intercom. The name Damien Brinks alerted Aiden about his presence in Bloom HQ, and he decides to swiftly and sneakily investigate. Aiden witnesses Damien talking to one of the Bloom higher-ups. He witnesses him stating that he wants in on the system, and in return for their compliance, Damien proceeds to inform his compatriots Kenny's and Aiden's location. Upon hearing this, the higher-ups quickly and swiftly send fixers after Kenny. Aiden leaves the building in a panic flurry. Sweating, he calls Kenny and notifies him of their current predicament and how fixers are on their way to him as they speak. Kenny, confused as he sent Aiden to prevent such a situation from ever happening, must now prepare for the ensuing conflict about to unfold.
After Aiden gets there, Kenny gets explosives ready to cover their tracks and blow up his hideout. Aiden and Kenny both flee back to the bunker after blowing up Kenny's hideout. When they get there, Clara is telling Kenny how big of a fan she is, and then something happens. An alarm gets tripped. Someone is hacking into the bunker. Aiden and Kenny scramble to stop them before it's too late. Aiden tries his best to lock him out, but with no luck. All the data Aiden needed to get his sister back was stolen, and it had all the trademarks of Default. Kenny does some digging and finds where Default lives. Aiden and Kenny go there, but with no luck. They find that he's carrying all the data on him. Kenny tracks down where Default is, and then Aiden goes there. Aiden chases after him. Aiden follows him outside, chasing him up the building. Aiden gets outside, and a lot of Default's goons are outside trying to stop him. He kills them all and keeps going. Aiden has to get close enough for long enough so he can download what he wants back. After a little while, Aiden gets it all and kills Default. But Default left something behind. It was a sound clip of Clara saying she would track down Aiden and Damien. Aiden, filled with rage after finding out the one and only person he trusted, stabbed him in the back. Aiden gets Clara to tell him who made the call. It was Lucky Quinn. Aiden tracks Lucky Quinn and kills all of his men before finally making it to him. Lucky puts himself in a box with bulletproof glass and no way inside. Aiden couldn't get to him. Bulletproof glass may stop bullets, but it does not stop electronics. Aiden reads Lucky's file and sees that he just had heart surgery. He's hooked up to a pacemaker, which is helping his heartbeat. Aiden stops Lucky Quinn's pacemaker for a few seconds, making him fall to his knees. Aiden asks questions about why they came after him. Lucky shows Aiden a video that he thought that's what he wanted on the day of the Merlot hack. It was a video of the mayor killing his secretary. Aiden, still mad, stops Lucky's pacemaker and downloads the video and sends it to Kenny. Lucky ends up dying in the box. Aiden goes to talk to Clara, but she does not answer. Aiden tracks her down and sees that she is at Lena's grave, but there are fixers closing in. Aiden gets in a car and speeds that way. As he gets there to warn her, she gets shot in the shoulder, then the chest, killing her. Aiden freaks out and kills all the fixers. Aiden heads back to the bunker to tell Kenny about what happened. and to see what to do next. Aiden remembers that in one of the phone calls with Nikki, there was an intercom in the background saying someone's name. Aiden runs the name and finds where the person works. He heads there to find Nikki. She is there. Aiden helps take out all the people guarding her and gets her home safely. Aiden gets Nikki and Jackson out of the city. Damien, not happy with what happened, he tells Aiden he has full access to CTOS and can now do anything he wants. Aiden decides it's time to end all of this. Damien starts hacking things to try stopping Aiden. Aiden calls Kenny and asks what to do and how he can stop him. Kenny tells Aiden to go to the main relay and try to get in. Aiden fails the hack. It's impossible to do by anyone. So instead, Kenny gives Aiden a virus that he must upload to 3 different points around the city. And what it will do is kill power to the whole city and track where Damien is. Aiden does so. He sees Damien is at the lighthouse. Aiden heads there to finish this. He climbs to the top of the lighthouse and sees Damien there. Just when he thinks this is all over, Jordy takes Aiden's contract and goes to kill him. Jordy, Aiden, and Damien are all at the top of the lighthouse. Jordy holding a gun to Aiden, Aiden holding a gun to Damien. Aiden gives up and drops his gun. Aiden slowly pulls out his phone and blows up the lighthouse. Aiden moves fast and pushes Jordy off the top of the lighthouse, takes his gun, and shoots Damien, finally ending all of this mess. Or does it? Aiden says that he's still going to be the vigilante and use the CTOS to stop problems before it even starts. And that is where Aiden's story ends. Or does it? I want to thank each and every one of you that have actually made it this far and made it to the end. Thank you for sitting down and listening to me tell the story of Aiden Pearce. There's gonna be more parts to this if this video does well, because Aiden still has a lot more to his story. If you want to keep up with anything else that I do, remember I stream on Twitch, upload YouTube videos, and I have a Discord, which will be linked in the description below. The other voice in this video that you heard twice is Masietro. He is also a Twitch streamer and a YouTuber. If you liked how he sounded and want to hear more of his content or see more of his content, his stuff will also be linked in the description below. Please check us both out, show Mas some love, and, you know, boost his channel as well. He really deserves it, but thank you all for coming out. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was my most edited project, as you can see with the thing that's on screen probably now, or while I was talking the whole time. Thank all of you for coming out. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you on Twitch. Thank you, and goodbye.